Good morning. Hi, Gary. Thank you so much for being here.
It's
This,
good to be here with you guys.
welcome to our Kari and Isabel podcast. Do you want to get all your likes and subscribes out of the way, Isabel, before we get started?
We're supposed to say because Richie gets, he's like, please like and subscribe because it helps the channel to share more and and other things that he knows that I don't.
Yeah, he's all about the algorithms, and we can barely say that word, can we?
I have no clue, but I know that it's true.
It's supposed to be fun, apparently. All
Yeah.
right. So this is Gary Strauss, and this is Isabel's dear, dear friend, and it's the first time I'm meeting Gary. So I'm just going to read a little bio about him so we get a on paper feel for who he is. But then hopefully Gary's going to go into his story and tell us all about who he is and how wonderful he is and what he does in this world. So let me just do this. So, Gary is a master practitioner and world famous polarity therapy and craniosacral therapy unwinding instructor. He is the founder and director of Life Energy Institute and Polarity Healing Arts of California. So that's just all your good guru stuff, but you tell us the real stuff. Like, who are you, Gary?
Who am I? That's a great question. I don't really know the answer to that.
Will
And
we?
personally, I think that's a good sign. Who I really am is a mystery to me that I'm still discovering. I don't really know. I
Mm.
hope I never know who I am. That
Yeah.
would be my wish for this life. Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on a path of discovery about who I am right now in my life. So
That would keep
that's
it very interesting, don't you think?
for me, it's the most fascinating thing I could say to you because I'm in this journey at this time of life, as many of us are, where a lot of things that I've normally been accustomed to are kind of gone, or
Right.
there's no energy in them, and that's been happening for quite a while. So
Mm.
it's a little bit of that. There's a beautiful thing in destruction. It's called rebirth.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
I feel like I'm being reborn in these moments. And in this particular time, I feel like I feel the serious spiritual stuff coming up through me in a way that it hasn't in the longest time.
Mm.
Kind of a rebirth.
Why do you think it's at this time, Gary? Like what specifically
Ah,
you feel?
that's a great question. Well, I think that's the time on the in the cosmos. Let's go beyond the planet. I don't think we think we're so important a little bit.
Yeah.
And what's going on is so, oh my God, what's going on here? It's going on everywhere.
Okay.
And it's universal from my perspective. It's in the universe. And it's a great shift. And part of that shift is very destructive. I think you know that.
Right.
And then a part of it is there's this new emerging spirit happening on the planet. And I believe in our cosmic relationship to the universe as well. I think it's everywhere like that.
Mhm.
Now, and I have my own, I see it in many different ways, but more like I kind of hear it in my channel.
Mm. Yeah. And how can we hold space for this? And you can talk about holding space because I think that holding space is people may do it or not do it, but they don't have that concept. And my dear friend Jane Goodall just left her body, and we were doing an event that day, and she didn't show up. And but she's showing up bigger now in the quantum field. Yeah. The fact of holding that space, because she said very clear, she said, you are a big part of the whole. Be aware of what you're doing with your part, right?
Yeah, absolutely. She's
It,
been holding space for the longest time.
I know she
And
loved
you
it.
know what she holds space for. There's no question about who she is and what she's done.
Yeah. But with you, what about holding space in these times where people don't know and they're a little lost with the fact that it's no control and it's no holding on. It's almost like going down a ride and it's slippery. And and I'm fine with it because I grew up like that, you know.
That's what our Hopi elders said at the turn of the millennium. They said it's going to be a swiftly flowing river, and if you try and hold on, you're going to suffer. And if you flow with it, you'll have a better time. So learn to flow.
Right.
Um, I mean, that's not easy. Let's be real.
Oh,
For some people, it's really easy. I know so many people who've just gone with the flow without attachment to anything and let go of everything and went into the flow of life. And they feel, to me, those people generally feel very, very happy. When I do that, I feel very happy when I'm in the flow of life. I feel very good. I don't feel, and if you want, I mean, that is a kind of an answer. How do I be with what's in the world?
Mhm.
That was their answer, to flow with it and just go with it. And maybe, and each of us are so different. We have all different spiritual or cellular journeys
Mhm.
that we are listening to and what we need to do. I know we all are called, like you're called to hold this space because you need to bring this into the world. And everybody has a different calling, and you have to listen to your calling regardless of whatever we think. My calling has been to hold space and to teach people how to do that. And to do that, I've done it and still do all over the world. And in these last few years, I've been called to be in the world more with it,
Mhm.
not be home in the comfortable place that I like, my crib where I like to sleep and eat crackers and, whatever I do there.
yeah.
But I'm in the world with it because I hear I need to be in the world with it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yep. That resonance, right? That we talk about, you and I, the resonance, finding that resonance. And I realize a lot that this morning itself, it happened, and it happens a lot. I'm walking the dogs, and people are in this. And it's no connection to nature, to that. So losing the
yeah.
resonance, giving away what is life force for yourself and everything else, right? And that, where do I belong? Because people, the more they're feeling that they don't have a grasp, that they can't control the moment, that things are slippery and unknown, which unknown for most people is scary. But my first, life journey, they buried me at 5 years old in the earth and left me there for 4 days and 5 nights. So I kind of lost that since a
I
baby.
I did that as a process in my life to die,
Yeah.
Mm.
buried myself in the ground.
Yeah.
How did you do
I
it?
loved it.
You loved it?
I loved every part of it.
You could just eat your crackers in there.
No crackers, no food,
Oh,
no nothing. I buried
no.
myself in the ground. I had a straw. I needed to breathe.
You actually went under.
I went in the earth.
Did you go under, Isabella, or did they leave your head above?
They left me and they will come at one time a day and give me water, but I was 5. So
So you went under, Gary, with a
I
straw.
went in the earth totally. Yeah. But I did it. Isabel didn't do it the way I did it. But for me, that was, I left my body and felt like I died. When you leave your body, that's kind of a death.
Right.
If we sleep and leave our body, there's a kind of a death in that.
Yes.
mhm.
And so I needed to start over again in my life, and that's why I did it. I needed to die to the life I had lived. And I'm kind of in that now, very similar. Interesting that we're in that
That's so
dialogue.
that's so interesting. Do you get times and cycles when you go through feelings like that, Gary? Like being just being who you are and being connected the way you are, because that to me sounds like an extreme water fast or something. That to me is like taking it to the next level of I always get this inklings, like an itching, like a feeling of like I have to let go, I have to break free, I have to kind of like crack out. So I will do like simpler, smaller things like a water
Sure.
fast or something like that.
But a water fast is kind of like a death. You go through not nourishing yourself with, and you turn to spirit, I believe.
Right.
And I think whenever you turn to spirit, and if you let yourself go with it, that's a transcendence of physical life, and it's like a death.
Mm.
And in the Tibetan culture, they say the first thing you need to do is get with death, or you won't have a spiritual path. And they spend a lot of time getting people to get there. Part of the problem in the world is that one of the issues is that we're afraid of dying.
Mm.
So we hold on, we hold on a lot to
Mm.
things. I mean, that's a very simplistic idea, but there's a lot of holding on to things, and things are being ripped away left and right all over the place.
Yep.
And have since the millennium began, I believe, really, if you want to go back. And certainly in COVID, so much was taken away.
Isn't that
And
great, though?
yeah,
I great, Gary. I learned with my dear friend Brian Weiss. I don't know if you know who
yeah.
Brian is. Yeah, I did like 2000 regressions and all that. I mean, looking at how many lives have I have, I got exhausted. I'm like, okay, I'm fine with this one if it goes. It's like changing roads, right?
I was exhausted in my 30s without, I felt it. And I felt like, what am I doing here? Do I really? Seriously, I felt complete with life. I understand
Mm.
that you get to your 30s and you go, what? That's it. I'm done. I know how people do that. I felt it myself. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me when
Why
you
do
say it.
why do you think that is? Why do you think people do that? And what is it, Gary, that you think is, you were mentioning earlier about going with the current, right? Letting go so that we can go with the flow and find happiness. What is it that makes us hold on?
Hold on.
Mm.
Oh, it's fear of death, I think, really. I
Yeah,
mean, primal. It's primal fear. I hold on. Look, in my life, I hold on to objects, no question. I have so many of them.
yeah,
I love my objects,
Yeah.
yeah,
but they give me comfort.
Yeah.
They have different frequencies, and I feel more in my objects, I feel great. In other people's objects, I can feel okay. Sometimes in other people's objects, I'll feel, wow, I want to be here.
yeah,
It's just in someone's house. Somebody gave me their house in New York. My hotel shut down where I normally go and do my work. And so somebody gave me their house in New York, and I love being in their objects. I could live there.
Yeah. You came
Something
here.
about it.
You came here. Remember when the fires?
I came to your house. I love being in your house.
Yeah, it's so chill,
But
Brazil.
for me, it's about frequency and resonance.
Mm.
And I think, what feels life enhancing, or what feels like it resonates with your spirit and who you are, you want to be there. I want to be in that space, whether it's a teacher, whether it's a location on the earth, whether it's somebody else, another human, or an animal, whatever it is. I personally love trees.
yeah,
There's a tree out here where I am in Switzerland. It's probably about 800 or 1,000 years old, and parts of it have fallen off, and it's regrown, and it's protected itself, and it has a symbiotic relationship with moss. And I'm like, this is my home. I could live right here in this tree.
Me too, because I'm a fairy chick. So you are with Zorka.
No, I'm not. She's here. I'm in her country, yes.
Okay.
But I'm in a place that I've been on the road proverbially for 40 years,
oh my goodness.
teaching and working with people. And that's what I'm doing right now in Switzerland. And I've been at this place that I'm in for 35 years. And I'm in this place because the people here had a vision of that resonated with what I was bringing, which is my work on holding space, if you want to say that. And it's still true. And I come and work with people here and teach classes. And I do that in a number of places. I've been coming to this place for 35 plus years. And these people are like, they're another part of my tribe, family.
I've been with you for decades,
Yes, there you go.
and I'm not even linear.
No.
So that's
But
an
we're
honor.
family. We're family.
It's
Yeah.
an
We
honor that she can remember that she knows that because she doesn't know, she forgets all times
It's
and
amazing that I can say 35 years.
Like,
Same thing, I forget.
okay,
and
Gary. Oh, I'm
what
sorry. Go on, Isabel.
what tools do you think you can share with everyone? Because right now we're
Holding space.
Yeah.
pollinating big time.
But I can make it really simple.
Okay.
Uh, so, and you know, when people say, "What do you do?" I say, "I'm an energy medicine body worker."
Right.
That's what I think I do. And I do believe when I work with people, they get liberated, they transcend, and whatever the shit is, they're not in it anymore.
Right.
They have transcended that stuff and they feel whole and complete and connected with heaven and earth at the same time and with life. They're not in resistance. They're in flow. I think that's what happens. And I think when you do good holding space, I don't care how you did it, whether you are a doctor with bedside manner, whether you're a dog, hello,
Right.
dogs hold impeccable space, cats,
Yeah.
animals that are your friends, or whoever, or a good mom or a good nurse or a good practitioner of any kind, holding space happens because what it is ultimately for me, it's a space that's free for you to be who you are and for you to open and flow. And even there's a quality in the space that gives you a little stimulation to be who you are and let yourself open up. And a good holding space restores nature that has been lost in the stresses and turbulences of the polarized world that we live in. And out of polarization comes neutrality, which is transcendence and back to spirit. It is heaven on earth for me. It feels like it does. I know that's one of those metaphors, but it's not really. It's a physiological
Yeah.
heaven on earth where we're happy. I think that's the goal for me, heaven on earth.
Yeah.
That's as above, so below, right? And
Thing.
what about the hermetic? Because to me, it keeps being told to me in my channeling,
Yeah.
how the hermetic times are very present.
Yes.
And that's polarity on his in
Yeah,
his
polarity comes out of Hermetic and comes out of a classic Egyptian Hermetic and or the Indian, Ayurvedic, Tibetan, the whole lineage. Dr. Stone, who synthesized polarity, integrated all of them. Polarity's integration of all those medicine systems in a Western mind with a attention to the body and the dimensions of life. So, but yes, these are times for, I mean, there are prophecies. If you read early on, I read Black Elk. I don't know if you he
that was
Black.
my grandfather. He adopted me.
Yeah. So what's fascinating with me and Isabel that I love is that we are in all of the same circles at different times in different ways, and we've touched all of the same things,
That's
and we
so
never talk about it very much. We're just with each other opening up energy and being like, oh, look, feel the energy, like more like that. And
yeah.
then this moment where I say Black Elk, she said, oh, yeah, he's my grandfather. Shut up. That's what I love about being with Isabel. It's always like that, by the way. It
I
never, Isabel has been everywhere in every dimension
knows
from her
everybody.
perspective. She
She's
knows everybody. And
every
you say something,
modality of healing.
she has a download from the Akashic Record.
I'll say something about a horse. She was a jockey one time. I'm like,
Everything.
where is this?
She is universal as a being on the planet. She's done everything.
I know. I know. I
And that
feel exactly the same.
it tickles me. It tickles me.
Yeah,
So,
it's
but
just me.
Black Elk had one of the stories, and you'll probably add something. He had a vision in the when he did his vision quest that he was going to be teaching white Western people indigenous wisdom. And he was so disgusted by that, he started dying until the elders made him tell them what his vision was. And he went on to inspire and teach and resonate indigenous wisdom, and the prophecy was that indigenous wisdom was going to save the world. It wasn't just, it really was, those prophecies and those channelings were about us returning or remembering
Yeah.
indigenous energy and thoughts and understandings about life and the cosmos. And we're doing that en masse all over the planet right now. People are hungry, thirsty. And you know what? I hear people talking about holding space in the hospital. I'm like, going, what? And they're talking about holding space. I don't know if they know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
but they're using the language now.
Yeah.
And as the language moves, the energy opens up. 100%.
Yeah.
The hermetic system I use so much, growing herbs. I grew up in the Andes and with the Cueros, and we used all the freeways of all these stars to grow our products, to grow our food. And I've been feeling that for so many years now. And Santa Fe, I dehydrate. I have all my food, all my jars, all my stuff that, oh yeah, all the cabinets are full of mojo.
Yeah.
And she did a meditation the other day. She does this incredible meditation for one of the podcasts and she went in a tree, and then she went in there and she's mixing all these parts of the subconscious mind in this jar of stuff you can take out. I mean, let's talk about really healthy
Beautiful.
witchcraft or whatever the hell. Amazing. I can
I
relate
love
to
it.
that. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes me feel very peaceful.
Yeah. No, it's the times are we there now here, and Mother Earth said, okay, I think I give you enough. You have done quite a bit with it or whatever. And now I'm going to turn it down a little, see how you can make it without me. So you can maybe respect, love, understand, or, my worst pandemic is ignorance. And I think that's the big course. That's a big cause of what's going on, that people are so disattached of where we started, what's the richness of a little earth, what's the richness of looking at a tree that is a grandfather that's been there, and I can tell the females from the males, and I can go in that tree. I was taught like that. And like you did with the earth. I mean, when I was a little kid, I don't have a fear of any kind of bug that can eat you, that story that people, seeing animals at night with my head out only, and understanding the value of every single tiny little thing. We're all sharing this space,
Mhm.
you know. We shouldn't, just understanding that without one of these, everything hurts.
You
And
know,
with
it kind of makes me think how we're all talking about how we've been talking so far. What do you think of this? Do you think there's something going on here? Because this keeps coming to me while I'm listening to you and Gary talk. Do you think that there is a reason that everyone is not present, that everyone is kind of on the phones? Do you think that there's a bigger plan that, like, because I mean, not every country, but the whole world, it feels like, is like on this, right? And everybody is so completely disconnected from humanity in a way, from like self-awareness of nature and things like that, because they're on their phones. Do you think there's a bigger, like, cosmic thing going on for why that is happening? What do you think, Gary?
Well, I think in our imaginations, oftentimes we think too short in the immediacy of what we're experiencing. So it's all evolving and it's all part of evolution to me. To have a Buckminster Fuller said one day we would have one device, and that device we could live anywhere on the planet with it. And he didn't think it was just a cell phone because there weren't any.
Right.
He thought it would be some kind of technology that would allow us. And if you look at that, let's be positive about it. The possibility of your phone is way beyond what we're living in the moment. And it's about to jump to a whole, we haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah.
We're getting to a place of liberation.
Mm.
And we're supposed to look, what's the evolution of our species? For me, it's to transcend this plane and live here at the same time. That's heaven and earth. We're
Right.
here in a transcended state. And partly to do that, we have to, Buddha said this when he went to Sri Lanka. He told everybody to get their shit together and make sure they had crops and they could feed themselves and make sure their lives were in order. So we're in survival.
Yep.
Everybody's in survival. And this cell phone thing makes you tune out from it, I think, because people are afraid. That's just the moment, though. People did that with television. They did it with radio. They did it with the computer when it first came. When it came, we'll grow out of the phone crack phenomena. We will,
Right.
and we because we will, having lost ourselves, like we talked about a moment ago, we'll remember that that's not who we are, and we need to go find ourselves again. And life is that movement from losing yourself in the insanity of our civilization and coming back to nature, ourselves intact in life and who we are. That's that journey over and over again forever. So to me, it's part of our evolution to be freed from all these survival stupid things man, if you look at all the things we had to do 10 years ago and look at it today, we don't have to do half as many. But we haven't figured out how to evolve in our action as well. So we go back to this stupid thing and we think, oh, let me just go in here. This is cool. I can do this. It takes nothing to go in there
Yeah.
Yeah.
and to get lost.
It's kind of like what we were talking about earlier with that feeling, that sense of like cracking open, that sense of rebirth that we get, but it's just on a mass, right? It's just
Also,
the whole planet.
it's so quantum, it's so Tesla, no?
I think so.
Yeah, it's so Tesla that it's very present now. And I was listening to the most amazing video that they always come to me. I was on something else, doing my, hypnotherapy thing. And all of a sudden I pushed something and it wasn't there. And I know it wasn't there. And there is Elon Musk talking about him losing his dog and how he ran into the to the hospital, tried to keep this dog alive or do something for his companion that has been so loyal and amazing to him. And that contrast of the cyber and the animal was so present for me. And also, he said, when I was there holding him, Jesus talked to me. And I was like, oh, it's a third component to things with this. Is that trilogy, is that three parts of stuff. And most people will not think that he believes in anything because he can manifest just about any goody goo that we want. Okay. And the journey that he took in there, Steve and I, we were fine with Stella. And we were fine with the fact, I always been fine with him because I read energy and I know his mother is amazing. And, to the fact that, yeah, these aliens are here and how they present themselves. Well, I'm an alien too, by the way. But I do have a passport now.
Who isn't?
We're all aliens. There aren't any, there's nothing that was originally here.
Right? And when they said, are you an alien? I remember asking that to Sting when I met him in England. And I said, did you write that song about me? I'm a alien. I never thought of that. I said, well, it's the first chance. But and doing that and giving it a good taste, Gary, because you always do. Because most part, and she was telling me how many of her clients come in with this like, Trump and all that. I said that contrast is so necessary. Here is the polarity, polarized planet. And a lot of people don't have, and I will ask them, what part of this person is triggering, pushing a button on you that needs to be addressed right now?
Mm-hmm.
That's a good question. I
Right?
agree.
More
Yeah.
than telling him, don't do that. Blah, blah, blah,
No, nobody's having that conversation quite. Not the way you just said it.
I know, right?
That's a
because
different
it's true,
story.
baby. It's true. It's true. Because the things that trigger are things that they're unresolved, that they're little owie or stinky or whatever in us,
That's
right?
right.
That polarity, right?
Yeah, the idea that when you feel something that disturbs you, that's causing your soul to have to relate to that and grow and
Right.
change. Because whatever disturbs you ultimately, and that's that idea, I didn't make that up. That's an old thought that we came to this planet to have a human experience and go through all the experiences of being human so we could digest and transcend them
Mm-hmm.
and find our attunement almost, I don't know that we're going to ever be impeccable. Maybe we are, maybe we will, but
It's so
we will become freer in relationship to all these things.
right. And let's keep in mind that, well, I grew up in between Buddhists and whatever. I don't know, because I'm definitely some sort of buffet of life. You know, the fact that we chose it. So I'm choosing a tree for the next one, at
I love
least
it.
for a few whatevers that, because, yeah, choosing what the hell were we thinking?
Yeah, there's a good question there. But we did. I believe you. I'm with you. I think we chose to be here now. And I think we can choose how we relate to the world. I have this really good friend. She is impeccable with this. Whatever happens in her life, she takes that thing and finds a way to digest it and turn it into what she wants. She's
Mm.
brilliant. She'll meet any challenge and she won't let it go till she feels like she's done with it.
Yeah, that's what I think I do.
She
I
will
go,
definitely not, she won't quit, she won't walk away. She'll, my internet connection is unstable, just letting you know.
okay, but that rhymes with the planet. So we keep on going like your friend, and we just conquer it.
Okay, Gary, let me ask you this. What got you into
Please, Corey, ask me.
what got you into cranial sacral therapy and polarity work? What woke that up inside of you?
I was in college
Mhm.
and I was studying to, at the time, be a marine biologist. And I was practicing yoga
Okay.
and I was meditating and practicing martial art.
Okay.
And somebody introduced me to energy, my electromagnetic field, which I had never felt. And
Hmm.
I was kind of stunned by it to
How,
feel my own energy field.
what did they do with you? Do you remember?
They just they said, hey, do this, rub your hands together, which I did and let them come apart and feel what's in between your hands. And I could feel pressure and tingling. And I go, what the hell? The way I learned meditation, they never focused on energy. And the way I was learning yoga, they didn't focus on energy in those days. They were very physical and and same with the martial art. They didn't really, but that gave me energy. So that touched me.
Mm.
And then later in life, and I played with it for years. And then I started doing environmental engineering, which is what I thought I would be, an
Okay.
environmental engineer. And I started doing that work. And it was very distressing.
Mm. Why?
And I didn't like what I was doing, I didn't feel right, but I kept doing it. But while I was doing it, I was studying at a polarity school and volunteering at a health center in Manhattan. And the more I did it, the more I said, this just feels right.
Yeah.
That's what happened, really. And I did it for some years, not knowing I would do it. And then I was like, there is nothing else for me to do but this. And, so then I just started doing it. I've been doing it ever since. And it was that experience. I felt like this is what the experience was.
Excuse me.
And it's hard for people to understand. Do you hear me? Are you hearing me? Yeah.
Yes, sorry, I just lost connection there.
Just checking.
Yeah.
So, when you hold space for another person and the energy opens up, it opens up for you doing it.
Right.
And when that happened, I was like, this is better than any of the other practices I have that get me to be in my channel and in my field and get me to be with energy. And I wanted to be in a life that was energy centric.
Mm,
It's so compelling. It's still the most compelling thing. I did 8 sessions today because people asked me. I don't usually do that anymore. I usually do about 4 or 5. That's where but today I did 8.
wow.
And each one was totally different. And I fell in love with each person that came in the door,
Yeah.
and they fell in love with me.
Yeah.
Not really. They fell in love with the space and the energy opening up.
Yeah.
It's
So
easy to fall in love with you, though. I have for many years.
She always,
I have a competitor called Tracy, unfortunately for me.
well, I always like, I'll say, so tell me about Gary. Who's Gary? And she'll go, oh, I love him. Oh, I love him. He's so lovely.
that's very sweet. Well, I love Isabel as well. But I just feel when that space opens, my teacher
Yeah.
said that love was a place where energy flowed freely and impersonally,
Yeah.
that it
Now,
had a lot of unconditionality in it. So,
earlier I watched a video of you working with a woman, and you were kind of expressing that you were connecting to her energy field and that you were feeling into, her energy field. I was watching you and I was watching the little movements of your body and what you were doing. And I don't know whether you're conscious of this or whether it's something that's very conscious to you, but you had like your hands were like little tentacles. You kept
huh.
like very gently, like just touching her knee, or very gently just touching her like the side of her elbow, or very gentle, because most people don't touch, you know what I mean? And I was watching you, and I'm like, he's like a little like octopus, like feelers. Is that what you're doing, or are you? Do you know?
Do I know I'm doing that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm tuning in and being with their energy and with their body, and I'm listening, and it's informing me, and we're creating a relational field.
yeah. Your little
Actually, I
hand.
think, yeah, octopus, that's a good one. I'm going to say, okay, this is the octopus. Do this.
So, what is it that you're doing inside of you when you do that?
I'm in myself and I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm being with them. I'm not trying to understand. I'm really not trying to understand anything.
Right.
I'm just trying to be with another human or another person, be a human with a human and just listen and be with what they say and let their words be there and let their energy be there. I'm not trying to encourage their energy to be there.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be with them and be related and listen. That's it.
Yeah, because you've had experiences working with Gary, haven't you, Isabel? You were mentioning earlier. Can you tell me about that?
Tell
Well,
you. Oh.
number one, Gary, it is the safety that I feel. I feel that space that is safe. And every part of me that was born before and it will be born again is in resonance with what he offers.
Hmm.
So the quantum field feels so not known, but it's almost like I feel composted, you know,
Yeah.
composted, that every little bit becomes, even though it didn't feel good, it could have been a pain or a twist, whatever it was
Yeah.
that we give a label to, doesn't have that label and it gets transformed. So it's a synergetic thing of a rapport that it becomes that something new. It's like dying and becoming alive again in a whole different way. Yeah. And everything is well. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. It's expansive, it's non-judgmental, is beyond this world and beyond any world that I have known. It's traveling through the galaxy for me. So I love the galaxy, you know. So that's so profound. And all the sessions are different. And the more years that I have spent with him, the more we connect in a way that is it's one. It's one. It's one for all. Okay. Because him and I and you, we always sharing and making a difference and pollinating everywhere we go. You know, these are the times that we were called for, and we're light. So when we come together with him, it's not just my session, it's everything I touched and everything that I will bring forward from that
Yeah.
with him. That's what it is for me.
That's beautiful.
Lovely to hear that.
Right? That sounds nice to hear for sure.
Yeah. But I'm going to use that. It's composting.
Yeah. I feel composted. I swear, all these little pieces that I've been sharing and more sharing, they kind of going into like this serve, because I always do it with the intention of service for the other beings to be able to go through whatever they're going through.
Yes.
Because I don't take ownership of things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't. I think it's dangerous to take ownership and give a name, and because they all, it's like saying, well, I don't like playing golf in the computer. What's going to show up when you do click? Golf everywhere. It's the same with the quantum field. Don't address, especially with the negative stickiness, you know, because it's going to show up in many parts of whatever you do. Okay, that's definitely a law of attraction, because the subconscious mind doesn't know if it's real or not, or if it's good or bad. It's just, oh, that file, boom, there. So I watch my interaction with clients or anything I touch, not to give it a stickiness, not to give it the resonance that is not appropriate for that, because I'm sure taking that home.
Yeah. What's your self-care look like, Gary?
My self-care?
Yeah, like how do you take care of yourself being so connected like that and energetically in someone else's field and stuff?
Well, the first thing is I've done so much of this, and the more you do it, the better you get.
Right.
So I don't, like I don't ever think, oh, am I taking anybody's energy or am I giving? Don't have that.
Right. So it's not in your
Students,
consciousness.
students ask me about it. I say, you're asking the wrong person.
Yeah.
Because I've done so much of it. It's just, I'm there. And that's a part of it. It's part of to me, the work itself is part of my sadhana. It cleans me and clears me to do this. That's what I was telling you before.
Yeah.
But I meditate, I do yoga, I do some Tai Chi, quite a bit of Tai Chi and Qigong. And I eat ridiculously nothing. I eat like very little things. That's what feels the best, so that's what I do.
Yeah, me too.
Mostly just, yeah. So that, and I definitely walk and work out and breathe as much clean air and clean water. And I try and spend time with people I love and care about. And like I would go to you just want to connect with people whenever I hear it. I think a big part for me, I said it earlier, is when you hear something inside of yourself that's for you, that you go do that.
Yeah.
And you don't need to ask anybody else about that.
Yeah.
If you hear it inside of yourself, you should go do something
Yeah.
that you hear. And every time I hear something, I do it.
Yeah, exactly.
So that really helps a lot. In Ayurveda, they think that's primary in being healthful.
Yeah,
I
no,
think it's a big deal.
I think that's just honoring yourself. That's just trusting your gut on what it is that you're hearing and sensing and feeling. And you're doing that. There's no doubt. And I think the more you do it, like Isabel was talking about with intuition, like it's like the more you listen, this is another conversation that me and Isabel had, but the more you listen, the more in tune you become, the stronger it gets, right? Because it knows you're paying attention.
100%.
And sitting bum naked on the earth. The bum part is very important. Bum naked with your back to the tree. Whoa,
That sounds delicious.
bum naked. Risk posting things. I grew up like Mowgli.
I bet that's a really good way to ground.
Yeah, I grew up like Mowgli.
Not,
Especially
not,
if there are ants there.
yeah, a little bit more texture, a
Yeah,
little bit more.
Fine.
so what would you give to the people that they're going to listen to and share this with others? What would you give them? Um, I remember one thing with Rumi. Rumi said in a quote, he said, "Why are you still in prison when you have the key?"
Huh. I like that. That's what I would say, something like that. See, you already answered the question.
Yeah.
And
I
bam,
would tell people, and I do tell people all the time, if you listen to some of my rants, I'm just telling them to wake the fuck up. And I'm not telling them to go do anything except what's inside of them. Listen and respond from yourself. And you do have to put your crack machine down.
Hmm.
And you have to let go of some of the stuff that you're entrained in.
Hmm.
That's the other side. And like you should be not doing the same thing all the time.
No.
Not healthy. I don't care if you think doing the same yoga asana. Oh, all right, but no. Like get out of your comfort.
yeah,
And people like what you said about, I think mostly people are imprisoned. We have all this stuff, but we're in prison.
we have
A
a
little,
key.
yes, there
We
is a
have
key.
a key.
You can get out.
We have the key. The door is wide open, and we didn't even
The
need the key,
door's always been open. That's the trip. It's the best.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and knowing that threshold line where you are and where you can be. And it doesn't take anything by just wanting to do it. That's the magic. I mean, the Merlin for me is one of the biggest thing, and he lives inside of us. And I love the Merlin. And the Merlin is that magician that we all own, right? That
Yeah.
the potion of life, the minute that you command that you can use and do your magic. I mean, we just finished 3 months or whatever it was. Maybe no, it wasn't 3 months. I don't know, something linear that I don't do. With this man that is a child, it's a big guy, and he is the golden child. John Favreau, the golden child of Disney, and it's very hard to get there because
Oh, yeah.
I work with Disney coloring all the cartoons in
Yeah.
Orlando. And it's a world that you don't easily enter there, but somehow I was coloring cartoons, one more life that I had. And I, yeah, because they don't let you, and it's certain combinations of colors that they're sacred to them. And, only Disney has those, not even the Asians.
Wow.
What it's big. Then you colored all the backgrounds, and I worked doing that for a few years,
Love it.
another lifetime. And then it was this. It's the story of Mickey Mouse.
Hmm.
Are you kidding me? Because Mickey Mouse, I mean, they don't protect the Pope as much or the highest rabbi as they protect this Mickey Mouse deal. And we were doing that show when it was only 2 shows going on in the hall with this man. And I'm like, it's a message here to go in the fantasy world, to be a child again. I'm such a child. I'm a little kid all the time. Deepak always said, don't lose your kid. Because if you ask a child, what do you want to be? It's going to say Superman or whatever they want to be. They don't think they can fly and all that story, all the stories. They are. And you see them running around with their bed sheet or whatever it is, the broom, and they become anything. And don't lose the child, right? And that's the message that I got. That and Stephen that day came over and gave me this that they have to wear when they were shooting in Disneyland. The magic key. We have the magic key.
So we should just go to Disneyland.
I'm there.
Or we should imagine that we're in Disneyland right where we live.
I'm actually always there.
That sounds
And
bad.
we should just live as children.
Yeah.
I'm down with that. I think the same exact thing. I'm on your page. Be a child now.
Be a child now, because we are in this womb.
Yeah.
And
100%.
you a session with me many, many, many years ago, I would say close to 40 years, in Marina del Rey. And we went inside my mother's womb, Corey.
Oh, yeah.
When things started to be kind of gnarly for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we went in there.
Yeah.
So the child is so important to have and understand and become free from that place, right? That we lose when we have to grow up and we have to do this. Deepak always says to every event that we did, please, people, don't screw up the kids. He said, my mother gave me the name Deepak, and I got screwed for life. Now I'm a Deepak. So that, those labels, those things, be a child. You can become anything. The transforming part of that, how magical is that?
Beautiful.
Right?
When was the last time you were a child, Gary? What was the last childish thing you did?
Just a little while ago, I was working with these kids.
Yeah.
And their mom.
Yeah.
And I was playing with them, like they came to do therapy with me. If you bring a child or you bring someone, I'm going to work with everybody that's in the room.
Yeah.
And I worked with the mom and the 2 children and, did childlike things.
Yeah.
We were doing cartwheels in the room. And just, if I'm going to be with them, I have to relate to them. So I was just being in their world with them.
Yeah, you have to be in that.
Very childlike.
Yeah. It's a good place to be.
Yeah.
I do that.
Work with kids.
Yeah.
The kids too. And
great message, Isabel.
He said something really important to me, and for you and I, the work we do too, related to them.
Yeah.
Related to them, not to what we bring to some table that we come in with something, and it's a different relation coming from that.
No.
Related to them, that rapport.
Yeah, exactly.
So crucial. And you do something very interesting, because somehow today I move as much as I usually do. And I know that sometimes I do this and I feel Gary's energy doing the same gesture, and I'm going, oh, I went out of focus there. But he doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything. He just follows the energy. And when you get there, you're like, oh, that rapport, that internal listening in the fields that we move around when anything that we see or anything that we perceive at that moment is changing that relationship. But he's really good at traveling those veils like shamans do,
What were you like as a child, Gary?
I got into a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really good at getting into trouble.
Why?
Felt good about it. I didn't feel bad. And I don't know, however my parents related to me, they never made me feel bad about getting into trouble. And I did some really bad things.
Hmm.
But they were like, they laughed a lot of the time. They saw me, I was the last child. So by that time, they were, child broken,
Yeah.
seen a lot of shit. And maybe the shit that I did, they were like, this guy's crazy? But they loved me also. So
Yeah.
whatever trouble I got into, and I was in nature a lot. I spent as much time in nature as I could. Definitely that was the place.
That brings me to something, Gary. What do you think? How do you relate, or how, whatever it comes up right now? So I don't want to give it a direction with guilt.
Hmm.
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 Um, well, first of all, I think let's be real. Guilt is a natural thing.
Right. We're human and we're supposed to feel all emotions.
And that's a way that, and people can guilt us to try and get us to listen to them or do what they want us to do, whatever. That's a story. But guilt as an experience is an organic, real human thing that we need. We don't want to not have it. Like a lot of times people come in and they say to me, let's say it was a client, they said, "Oh, I'm so guilty." I say, "Cool. Let's let that be here, really. Give it." And it isn't the guilt that's the problem. And it isn't the whatever it is. It's the relationship that there's something wrong with having that as a human being.
Yeah.
We don't usually get to have everything. My experience, why people have not healed to the level that they want to, or what they're coming for, is they haven't gotten to be with an aspect of whatever it is that they're talking about to a deep enough level to actually feel it and let it resonate in their body and their field. They don't have that permission in life. And they didn't get it because life is so fast. You have to be done with whatever thing you did to go do the next thing. So for me, it's like just slowing down and letting them be guilty. That could be the greatest thing you could give yourself. Now, I'm not talking about shaming you because you feel guilty. That's a different story.
Hmm.
Mm.
I like that shame story. I like how he brought that out and made a difference and said shame is toxic.
Hmm.
I don't actually think that shame is toxic either,
I
but I
think
think the more you drive that as what that's a bad thing and wrong,
Mm.
that's toxic to me.
hmm. I like to.
And
I
when
remember one time, Gary. Sorry, with Tony Robbins, and he said, "Whoever wants to shame you, they have issues with dominance, and they want a part of you that if they shame, they feel more above or more, yeah."
spot on, that's people trying to take, and we are cave people in survival, and we're trying to take power over each other all the time. It's not healing, it's just taking power. And for people to have this space where they could actually have what they have, then they'll find out that shame or guilt or sadness or grief or loss, those things are not really bad things. There's nothing wrong with any of them. Even people have the same relationship to feeling happy and feeling good, and they were shamed around feeling happy.
Yeah.
They were made to think it was wrong, let's put it that way. And so then for them to be able to have a space where they could be happy or sad, whatever it is,
Mhm.
then they could have the color of that thing and digest it and be more, and then restore their wholeness.
Yep. Yep. He said it's part of the one of the six human needs of being significant. Because if you shame or overdo somebody else, you feel more significant. You have something that they don't have, and that you know more or whatever.
Yeah. Oh,
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a misdirection for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Wow, we good.
I think especially for the kind of work that we're in, even though it's all different modalities, that's a no-no, you know.
Yeah.
That's not holding space.
No.
Well, once in a while going boo. It's okay.
That's very important.
Boo. How'd that feel?
Sometimes I scream in the classroom.
Yeah,
Really
you do.
loud.
Does it work?
Oh, everybody freaks out. It's them out of what they were in because it ignites the sympathetic nervous system and they're all seeing stars or and they're going, "What?" I'm saying exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
That's what Isabel does on a regular conversation to me constantly. It's like I'm in a conversation and shit comes from nowhere, and I'm like, "What the hell just happened?"
That's right.
It was the dog. I'm like constantly like,
Pattern interruption.
Yeah. Classic pattern interruption.
I Bolia does them that I used to lose my hair when he did it. All of
Yeah,
a sudden, whack.
that's right.
What happened, John? And then he goes back to his la, 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 la. he
"Oh,
he was with us with Corey and I after his hip surgery, and he's in his son wavelength like always with his tuning fork. And I love the fact that he said she's like this magic thing with the tuning fork, right? And then he goes, but it doesn't last.
it doesn't last." Like nothing lasts. Are you crazy, woman? I was like, "Oh, so like, how long does it last?" It doesn't last. He said. You have to enjoy the bits where you're kind of
You
screwed
could
up.
have said it goes on forever, though.
You left your little blankie, as the baby,
Ah,
the little teddy bear.
Yeah,
Like, nah,
exactly.
there's
you're the
there's
teddy bear
fun.
now.
There's fun in the roller coaster. That's what he's basically saying. That's what life's all about, right? It's all about the learning.
Yes. Enjoy the roller coaster.
Exactly.
Yeah, I am so honored, Gary, and I love you, and I'm gonna miss you. And we leave on Monday to Sedona for a
Yes.
couple of weeks to decompress, and then
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm going back to the mountains, and I
Yeah.
miss you, and I love you, and I'm so grateful for you being in my life.
Same here, and I'm glad we could find some time to just be together and
Yeah,
have this conversation,
yeah,
whatever we're talking
Yeah, it
about. Who
was
knows?
nice to get to know you.
yeah. Steve said
Lovely to meet you, Corey.
I
Yeah.
got I got my colonoscopy on Thursday. Steve said it. I said, well, we're gonna find a way for you to get there because I am not missing another in between the car that the rat ate, whatever. I'm like, no, 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 no. We're doing it.
Your colonoscopy can wait. We're going to talk to Gary.
Yeah.
Yay.
Thank you so
Thank
much. It's been a
you.
pleasure. We really appreciate you. We will put all of your information and your links, anything that you're going to do, we'll add it all below so people can find you and work with you.
Oh,
Thank you so much.
Thank
thank you. Love
Very
you.
you,
sweet. You
Gary.